about 2 different ways you can work with herbs with oils. The first being aromatherapy, which all the little roller like things like the roll-ons that you got are essential oils with a carrier oil that is jojoba that is used for aromatherapy. And then there's body oils like that you can apply on the rest of your body. We don't have those for you, but I can teach you quickly how to make body oils because it's a lot more economical and cheaper, and it's super easy to do, and it's really, really fun. Aromatherapy is when you use the essential oils that are located in the herbs or plants to and you smell them, and that gives you medicinal benefits. That helps elevate your mood or helps you go to sleep. It's basically using the therapy of the scent of the plant to achieve a certain like outcome.
Básicamente, aromaterapia es cuando uno huele la planta y usa el olor de la planta para que se sienta mejor en el cuerpo.
Cool. So the different types of essential oils that Imelda has for everybody, there's eucalyptus, and there's lavender, and then there's also a bunch of other herbs that we have the essential oils for, but they're at school. So if you wanted to play around with them, I'm sure you can come in and maybe ask for them. But different herbs have different benefits for you. And do you want to translate that? I don't know how much I should speak before you translate. Do you want to like raise your hand to?
Yeah, I'll raise my hand. Cool. I also want to pinpoint too that some of you did pick up the oils, and the one that has the label in the center, that one is lavender, and the one that has the label in the bottom of the oil, that one is eucalyptus. Just wanted to pinpoint that out for those who did get the oils in the sense. Pero básicamente aquí está explicando de los diferentes hierbas aquí que tenemos aquí. Peppermint, que viene siendo una para las migrañas y náusea y para que ayude Yes, you can, Anna. You can still pick them up. I'll give them to you next week. La lavanda, que ayuda también para las migrañas y que ayuda también que uno que se puede relajar. Eucalyptus ayuda mucho para la congestión cuando uno que se va a enfermar. Tea tree oil es más para la acné, si uno tiene acné en su cara o en su cuerpo. Lemongrass es para calmar también. Frankincense es para calmar y depresión. Y naranja, que viene siendo para energizar y acné y otros dolores, otros sentidos de humor.
Right. So all those essential oils, I mean, Imelda just read the list in Spanish, but every single plant has a different benefit. And these are the different essential oils that are available for you to pick up at the school. And these are the different benefits that they have. With things like lavender and peppermint, like I get migraines a lot. And so I use lavender and peppermint for my headaches. And with essential oils, like when you use it in a roller ball, you can either smell the roller ball, or you can apply it on different pulse points. So we can talk about different pulse points on your body. These are all the different pulse points that exist on your body, and these are the best places to apply the rollerball essential oil onto: your neck, your chest, your inner elbow, your wrist, the back of your knee, and your ankles. So all of these points are the parts in your body that are most receptive to medicine. The pores there are really open, and they're really, when you put the oils there, it's kind of just like a straight shot into your system. And then another important thing about the aromatherapy roll-on balls is that if you are pregnant, or if somebody in your family is pregnant, aromatherapy is a very, very potent medicine. And so you actually don't want to, it can cause miscarriages. And so just being careful with, like, if you are pregnant, don't apply essential oils on your pulse points, because there are very few herbs that are safe to apply when you're pregnant. So just like a disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're working with essential oils, if you see in the roller ball that we gave you, like there's a lot of liquid in it. And so the most of the liquid is jojoba oil, which is a carrier oil or a base. And then there are only a couple of drops of the essential oil in there. And that's because essential oil is very, very strong. And if you apply it directly onto your skin, you can sometimes get skin irritations or inflammations. It's just very, it's really intense on your skin. So you always want to put it in another oil. But sometimes like, so aromatherapy is a really,
Khadija, somebody's asking, what are the different carriers of oils?
oh yeah, we're gonna get to that in the body oil section. And I don't know how to, okay, cool. We're gonna get to that. So aromatherapy is really, really great. It can be a little bit expensive. Like the tiny little bottles of essential oils can be like $10 for a tiny little bottle. And to make your own essential oil, you need a machine called a still that distills plant matter and takes all of the oils that exist in the plant. Like, you know, when you crush a leaf in your skin, the oil comes out of it. There's a machine that extracts that oil out of it. That whole process and that machine is like pretty expensive, and the essential oils themselves are pretty expensive. So I'm going to show you another way that you can incorporate the power and the medicine of plants into oil and apply it to your body. And so we're going to talk about herbal infused body oils.
Mm-hmm. So
okay, so to answer the question that somebody asked earlier, to make herbal infused oils, all you need is dried plant matter and oil. And I have one right now. This is a little jar. It has dried lavender in it, and I put olive oil because that's what I had in the kitchen. And all you do is you put the plant matter into the oil, you cover it, and then you just top it and leave it on a windowsill where you get sun. And the power of the sun will heat up the oil and take out the medicine that's in the plant and put it into the oil.
Okay, so básicamente lo que estaba enseñando ella viene siendo un frasco. Usted nomás puede agarrar un frasco de cualquier hierba. Esta es una hierba que me gusta mucho, se llama plantain leaf. Es una hoja de plantain. Y nomás dar su aceite. A mí me gusta mucho usar el aceite de almendra. Eso lo pueden comprar en las tiendas. Y nomás ponerlos dos juntos y dejar el frasco con aceite de almendra allí cerca de cualquier ventana que haya luz, y básicamente el sol lo va a cocinar todo eso y llevar todo para que, ok, bye Kenia, va a llevar, y todo el sol aquí va a dejar para que se cocine y absorbe toda la medicina de la hierba.
So the different types of oil that we use depends on the different skin types that we have. So there's oily skin, some people have dry skin, and some people have a combination of oily and dry skin. And different types of oil some are more heavy and some are more light. And so if you have oily skin, you're looking for an oil that is lighter on your skin, that's not going to clog up your pores. Something like jojoba oil is really great, but it can also be a little bit pricey. So grapeseed oil is something that you can find in the grocery store, and it's a very, very light oil that gets absorbed into your skin very quickly. And then for dry skin, we have almond oil or olive oil. Like, I think most people have olive oil in their kitchen. It's something that you can easily use and apply to your body. If you have oilier skin, you may not want to use that because olive oil is very, very heavy and it may clog up your pores. And then for something that's like, for skin that's oily and dry, like I have oily and dry skin, I use jojoba oil or grapeseed oil, depending. So jojoba oil, actually, both of them mimic the natural oil that your skin produces. And so it's like the most like your natural oil.
So most of you who got the bottles have jojoba oil. So all of you guys that got the little oil bottles, all of those have jojoba oil in it. Just FYI for if anybody's wondering.
And then whichever oil that you use, you want to make sure that it's organic because the skin is your largest organ in your body. And so anything that you put on your skin is absorbed into your body and is now inside of your body. And so with oils, especially if you're going to be using it for skincare, you want to make sure that it's the label says organic, because that means that there aren't pesticides and chemicals that are being used when the grape or the almond or the olive that's being grown for that oil is being grown. Yeah, is the herbs. So there's all these different types of herbs that you can use to give your oil different properties. And when you're working with herbs, when you're putting herbs in oil to make an infused oil, you want to make sure that you're only working with dried herbs. And the reason why you want to work with dried herbs and not fresh herbs is if you've ever experienced mixing water in oil, they don't mix that well. And if you've experienced, like, sometimes if you have olive oil by your stove and you accidentally get water in it, it can make the olive oil go bad or rancid. When you go and smell it, it doesn't smell good anymore. So like water, any water that exists in the plant will get into the oil, and because of that, it will make the oil go bad. It will spoil the oil. So you don't want to work with fresh plants. If you have fresh plants, you want to dry them first and then use them when they're crispy and dry.
Okay.
Some calming herbs that you can use, the ones that are pictured here, you have lavender and you have jasmine in the middle, and then chamomile. And so these are 3 different herbs that you can, if you see them on your walks, you can pick them and you can wait for them to dry, or you can go to different herb stores in the area. And I have my last slide will share some herb stores in the area. You can get them in dried forms. But jasmine is something that grows pretty much a lot of places. Like a lot of people have jasmine growing in front of their houses or wherever. And so like you can forage your jasmine if you don't want to pay for dried jasmine, just getting little bits of flowers and little bits of leaves and drying them on a piece of paper outside of the sunlight. And then once they're dried, you want to put that into oil. And the same can be done for lavender, and the same can be done for chamomile. When you're drying herbs, you just want to make sure that you're putting it in a place that's dark so that the light isn't breaking down the plant matter and taking all the medicine out of it.
Ella también.
Skincare, like if you have bruises or cuts, if your kids fall down a lot and you want to make an oil that you can apply on their cuts or bruises, these are some plants that can help you with that. So we have on the left, the yellow flower is calendula, the middle plant is plantain, and the one all the way on the right is yarrow. And so plantain and yarrow are 2 different herbs that you can find. Like plantain grows like everywhere, like in parks you'll see it growing between grasses, on people's front lawns you'll see it like in between all of the grass. And plantain is really great for wound healing and repairing skin. It's great for so many things. It's a good antibacterial, so if you get cut, it prevents the bacteria from infecting the site.
You could finish the other one too.
Oh, okay. And then yarrow, you can find yarrow a lot, like when you go into a lot of the forested areas here or by the beach, like by the water. Sometimes like you'll see it growing like on the cliffs of the beach, or you'll see it growing on like in forested areas, like on cliffs, in high cliff areas. So if you go to any of the parks around here, you'll probably see yarrow, and you can use the leaves or the flower, and it helps. Yarrow is also antimicrobial. It prevents the bacteria from getting into cuts. It helps with bruising, and it also helps with bleeding. Like it stops bleeding really well. So if you, like for example, if you go on a hike and you see yarrow and maybe your kid fell and they're bleeding now, you can very quickly take a piece of the yarrow leaves and chew them up in your mouth and apply that chewed up leaf matter onto wherever they're bleeding, and it helps stop the bleeding. And as an oil, it helps like move the blood, and it helps just like protect the skin. On an energetic level, yarrow is often used to like protect people's like energy aura spaces. It's like one of the herbs that like like it's on a spiritual level, a lot of different cultures use it to like protect, like it's a very protective herb. So you can think that it has the same kind of medicine for your body. It creates like a shield for your body to protect your body. And then the other herb is calendula. Calendula, it grows a lot in community gardens. Like it grows very easily in this area. So if you go to any community garden, they probably have a lot of calendula growing. Calendula also has the same properties. It helps with cuts and bruising. It also is really, really great for things like skin irritation, like rashes and eczema. Like diaper rash is a big thing. Like people will use calendula oil for diaper rash to help their babies move through that. So something like for skin irritation, calendula is really, really great for that. All of them are really great for that, but calendula is especially well known for that. And some different kinds of herbs that you can work with for like self-love and grief, and just like if you're feeling, because there's a lot of grief that has come up for a lot of different people during this year. A lot of people have lost a lot of loved ones, like just being isolated and torn away from their normal day-to-day has been a lot for a lot of people. There's just a lot to be sad about and grieve. And some herbs that can help with that are rose. Rose is like a very good heart opening, heart holding herb. And then also frankincense is like really, really grounding and can help with depression and anxiety and stress. So these frankincense is harder to, it's not something that's native that you can find on the street, but I think a lot of people use it culturally for smudging and for different like incense. And rose is something that you can find in different neighborhoods. Like I know the Berkeley Rose Garden has tons of roses there. I don't know if you can pick them though, but there are roses out in people's yards sometimes. But yeah, these are two different herbs that you can use to make a oil that is more for self-love and like grief and depression. Okay, and then this is just kind of like processed shots. So on the left-hand side, you see jars that are filled with the herbs, and the herbs are covered by the oil. Sometimes, if you would like, you could use like a paper or a cloth or like parchment paper, and then you can screw on your lid, because sometimes the lids get all like gunky if they're outside for a long time. So some people put like parchment paper. I don't do that, but all of my lids get rusty, so maybe I should start doing that. But you see how they have their jars set up outside. You can do it outside, you can do it on a windowsill. As long as the sun is warming up the oil, and it's going to be fine. Like it'll be like a slow extraction of the medicine from the plant into the oil. And you want to keep it in the sun for 6 weeks, at like the minimum 6 weeks. You can go further if you want.
Básicamente, aquí como lo está enseñando aquí en la foto, así es como se tiene que mirar. Tiene que tener un jarro, claro, que sea de vidrio, y en ese jarro que tenga las hierbas y que ponga el aceite, cualquier aceite, como estábamos hablando, el aceite de uva, o si aceite de oliva, o si aceite de jojoba, o aceite de almendra, dejarlo por 6 semanas en sol, para que el sol queme y absorba toda esa medicina que necesitamos del aceite. Y ya cuando las 6 semanas se pase, lo cole en cualquier trapo que usted tenga y le separa el aceite de la planta, y ya nomás se va a quedar con aceite. El aceite lo usa para masajar o para lo que usted quiera.
Cool. Yeah, and then after those 6 weeks, you strain it out. And so this is 2 different methods of straining it out. You can use a cheesecloth, and you can pour all of the oil and capture all of the plant matter in that cloth, and then squeeze the cloth. Or you can use like any scrap piece of cloth that you may have. You can use it to strain it, or you could just use like a colander, like that silver mesh colander. Just pour through there, and then just press the plants against the colander to just squeeze them out, squeeze all the oil out of them.
I already said that. So.
Yeah. Cool. And then after you strain it, you can just put it in a jar and in another like empty jar that's clean and dry. And that oil you want to keep out of the sunlight. So now that it's infused and medicinal, you want to keep it out of the sunlight so it doesn't, so the shelf life, it can last longer. The medicine is more potent for longer. So if you can find like brown amber bottles, or if you cover the glass jar that you may have, with like a piece of cloth or put it in a dark cupboard, it'll help keep the oil medicinal for longer.
Okay.
And then when you have your finished herbal oil, like when you have your infused oil, you can use it for a lot of different things. You can use it when your child falls down and they need like something to help the swelling or the bruise go away. You can use it like in your nostrils if you would like, but I personally like to use all the oils that I make for a whole body self massage. And in Ayurvedic medicine, which is in this, which is a lineage of Indian medicine. I'm Indian, and so it's like my culture's version of medicine. There's something called Abhyanga self-massage. And so Abhyanga self-massage is done when you warm up an oil and you apply the oil on your whole body, like taking one body part at a time. And so there are lots of reasons why people do Abhyanga self-massage. There are a lot of benefits to it, and some of them, it helps reduce stress. So just the simple act of us touching ourselves, like touching our skin softly with long strokes, and slowly, activates our parasympathetic nervous system. It's the part of our body that helps release hormones to calm us down when our heart rate might increase or our blood pressure goes up or we're super stressed out. It helps activate the part of our body that helps bring us all, like slows us all down. So that's, oh yeah.
Oh, no, keep going, keep going.
So that's one benefit of Abhyanga. It is also a very detoxifying massage, because you're methodically going through your whole body and you're rubbing medicinal oils onto your skin. And a lot of the herbs that I mentioned help raise toxins from your skin, from your body up to the surface of your skin. And so Abhyanga can be a very detoxifying massage, and it can help move the lymphatic fluid in your body. And so the lymphatic fluid is the fluid that has your white blood cells that runs throughout your whole body, that helps keep your immune system and your body clean. It's constantly just picking up the trash or toxins in your body. So doing a whole self massage, like a whole body massage, helps activate the fluid in your body and helps it to start circulating and moving. And then also Abhyanga self-massage also helps improve sleep. So a lot of people do self-massage right before going to bed. And I mean, this past year, a lot of people have had a hard time falling asleep. There's lots of thoughts moving through our brains, like where our whole nervous system is very activated and we're in a constant state of fight or flight, like we're just like stressed, on high alert. And so just doing that tactile touch to your whole body helps calm your nervous system down, which can help it prepare to go to sleep. And so you can get deeper, longer sleep if you just take that time to just massage your whole body down. And then lastly, because it is oil and because there are herbs, it helps soften your skin. So it is like a very, that's like an obvious one, but softens your skin and it helps moisturize your skin and gets rid of old dead skin, and exfoliates because you're rubbing. So sometimes, like, you don't always need something that's coarse to exfoliate. Just constant motion can help exfoliate your skin as well.
Okay.
It's helping calm your nervous system down, and because it's helping move the fluids in your body and help it circulate, it's also helping your immunity stay up. So a lot of times, like, when you are more susceptible, if you're a person that is more susceptible to getting colds and the flu and getting sick often, it often has to do with how stressed you are. And so the more we can practice de-stressing and de-stressing our systems, the better our body is able to support us. and because we're, you know, like it's able to do its job in like protecting us against like viruses and bacteria. But if your body is constantly just like stress, it's just trying to like survive. And so just having these like moments where we're taking care of ourselves in this way have a greater impact on our immunity long term. Then the way that we do Abhyanga self-massage, and maybe we can do it together like quickly or whatever, so I can show you. But you basically go through each part of your body little by little, and you massage literally every single joint of your body. And you do two different motions. You do a circle that's going to the left, and then you do a circle that's going to the right. And yeah, maybe we can go through the whole experience, or like what it's like. Cool. Fingers, and you start with the first joint on your pointer finger, so this part of your pointer finger, and you make a circle, you massage it in a circle going to the left, and you do that a couple of times. And then you go the opposite direction. And so what you're doing here is when you're massaging to the left, you're detoxifying, like you're getting rid of all of the toxins. And then when you're massaging to the right, you're nourishing your skin and you're replenishing it. And this works because like in Ayurvedic medicine, it's all about how we move energies in our body. And so the left or counterclockwise motion is like a very detoxifying motion. And so they go ahead and they do it for every single joint on the finger, every single like finger, which can be a lot, you know, but also you can see how this helps you fall asleep. But you do it to every single finger, and then you move it, and we're not going to do it to every single finger because it's going to take forever for us to do that together. But then you like move to your palm, and you do the same thing. You do left, you do the circle to the left, then you do the circle to the right, and then you go inside, do the circle to the left, and then you do the circle to the right, and then you go to your wrist, and you do the same thing there.
You guys
and then
are making me sleep in a second.
yeah, I mean, it's very relaxing.
You're like,
It's very relaxing, and it's also a really good like gratitude practice, you know, because like our bodies really help us through so much throughout the day, and like we don't even like, there's so many times where I nick my finger and I don't even know that I've nicked my finger, you know. And so like taking time out to just like individually just like rub each part of your body, like when you're done with your wrist, you want to do like longer figure 8 motions on your arm. And the figure 8, like on your arm in Ayurvedic medicine, this is like a part of your body, an energy part of your body that like doing this figure 8, it kind of like creates a clean slate for your energy. It reconfigures your whole energy field in Ayurvedic medicine. So if you do a figure 8 there, but yeah, it's like a nice time to be like, hey, arm, thank you for holding all the stuff throughout the day. And like, you do it to your elbow, you're doing the circles to the left to let it go, to the circles to the right to nourish and love, and then you move to your upper arm, you're just doing nice strokes, just like, I love you, upper arm, you know. Then you just like move to this part. This is a really great area of your body to get the lymphatic fluid moving. And so you have like a lymph node, like, you know, when maybe like when you're sick or your kid is sick, the doctor's always trying to like touch their lymph nodes up here. This is the area where like if you do get sick, it gets inflamed because this is the area that does a lot of cleansing. So just doing this a couple times a day, oil or not, can help your lymphatic system flow and like helps your immune system get activated. So just doing this, and then you're doing the same thing you did to this side on this side, and then you move to your belly, like you do belly massages, like you do a big like circle on your belly, like that. Oh, wait. You want to move from your left hip to your right hip, up and then across. And that's the direction of your digestive tract. It goes this way, and then it goes up, then it goes across, and then it goes down. So this is also a really good massage. Doing this circle is a really good massage to do when you wake up in the morning before you have your first poop. Maybe you don't poop in the morning. I don't know, but I'm a morning pooper. And this is a really good, this is a good like belly massage to do to get like just the stuff from yesterday out of your system. And you're doing it this way. It's like literally you're moving the contents in your intestines out. And then from your belly, you go to your hips and you do the same thing. You do like a circle going to the left, a circle going to the right. And your thighs, you want to do like long strokes, like long straight strokes for your thighs. And then the same thing for your knees, a circle to the left, and then circles to your right. And then the shin, you're gonna do long, straight, long, straight. And then the foot, you're gonna treat the same way that you did your hands. So you're gonna do the ankles, like the circles on your ankles, and then the circle on the top of your foot, and each of the joints of your toes, and then underneath your foot. And just giving that like touch to your whole body in that way really helps bring down like your breath. It helps slow your breath down. It helps ground you back into your body, because a lot of times when we're stressed, we also get disembodied. Like we get ungrounded. Like we're not in our bodies anymore. And it's like, because we're like so up here, we're like freaking out, right? And so this helps us just like get back into our bodies and like release a lot of our stress. So where can you buy herbs? There's a couple of different herb stores in the area. There's Five Flavor Herbs in Oakland, Lasa Karnak in Berkeley, and Naturally Herbs in Albany. Naturally Herbs is the furthest one from everyone here, but it's also really amazing. It's family owned and it's Black owned, and they're just really great. So I love that place, but it's not, it's in Albany, which isn't that far. It's basically Berkeley, but a little bit north. So those are some places that sell bulk dried herbs that you can get. And when you go there, you can tell them like, hey, I'm looking for herbs for an herbal infused oil, like a body oil, and I'm wanting to feel calm. And, you know, they might recommend lavender or chamomile, but they might recommend all these other herbs that they have there. So it's good to, you know, talk to the people when you go there. So like Berkeley, Oakland, the area that we live in, there's a lot of community gardens, there's a lot of urban farms, and it's a little bit tricky with COVID, but I'm like, a lot of these farms still want to be able to interact with the public. And so there's City Slickers that's in Oakland, there's Place for Sustainability in Oakland, and then there's Gill Track Farm in Albany. And if you reach out to them through their email or go visit them and try to figure out a way in which you can harvest herbs that's like COVID safe, I'm sure they would be accommodating, because they love to, a lot of the urban farms and community gardens want to be able to like provide their medicine to the public. So you could do that. You can go to a community garden or a urban farm, and you can harvest the herbs, and then you can dry them the way that we talked about it, in the dark, maybe like on a piece of cardboard, and wait until they're crispy. And you can do that and it'll be free. Or you can try to find some of these herbs like in your neighborhood, or in parks or in forested areas.
Let me see in the chat. Maybe somebody has questions in the chat. How long should it, okay, so Daniela asked, how long should it take to go through everything? And what do you mean by go through everything? Like the massage?
Oh, yeah, that was for the massage. Like, how long should it take to massage our body?
Yeah, I mean, when I do it to myself, like depending on how fast I'm going, it could be like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. If you're going through every single like joint that we mentioned and you're doing the left circles and then the right circles, you want to do at least like 3, 4 of each. But yeah, it should be like 30, 45 minutes, but it depends on how fast you're moving. But you also want to like not be moving fast, but you know, everybody has a life that's busy. So depends on your speed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else has questions? ¿Alguien más tiene preguntas o todos sabemos? ¿Alguien tiene preguntas de diferentes hierbas que quieren saber? No? Okay.
What about
Oh.
Savila?
Oh, Savila, which would be aloe,
Aloe.
right? Aloe?
Yeah.
Aloe?
Mhm.
So aloe is already like, I wouldn't put it in an oil because it's already, when you like peel the leaves, there's already that gel stuff. So you can just blend aloe and apply it directly onto your skin. It doesn't need to go through an oil.
Oh, okay, because it's not like essential, huh? Like it's not a essential herb oil thing.
Yeah, because usually when you're infusing oils with herbs, you're using herbs that are like like that dry, like the leaves and the flowers and the stems like dry. But aloe is like a cactus that has that like gooey mucilaginous meat in it, and so it wouldn't dry. I don't even know a dried aloe. I think dried aloe just like would go bad. Like I don't think that you can like really dry aloe and like keep the medicinal properties of it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? No? Okay, so next week, if there's no more question next week, Khadija is going to be teaching us a lesson regarding how to make medicine using glycerin. I don't know if you want to talk about what's glycerin a little bit. We will be providing the glycerin for you. I'll be providing the jars for you. And also we might be providing some herbs for you too. But if you guys have the time this weekend to buy more herbs, I definitely recommend it. So then you guys could definitely put more herbs into your jars, because I'm not gonna have enough herbs for an actual nice medicine. So yeah, I don't know if you want to explain a little bit what's glycerin.
Yeah, so next week we're going to do tinctures. And so tinctures are herbal extractions that you can take internally. And so the body oils are all external. You're putting it onto your body. Next week we're going to talk about how do we take the same plant and how do we make it available for us to take internally. And so there are three different ways that you can, three different like mediums that you can use to extract the medicine from the plant. And one of them is